Hey guys, what's up? So this is part 2 of how to solve the mirror cube. So today we'll be actually learning how to solve it, and we'll be using a lot of the notation taught in the previous video. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. Okay, so we're going to be starting with the first edge. So in order to solve the mirror cube, what we want to do is we need to pick a face, and for this tutorial I'll be using the thinnest face. So if you look at this edge right here, it's the thinnest of all of the cube. So we'll be wanting to solve the face that is the thinnest, and there's a center on the cube which is super thin. Okay, so looking at the thinnest piece, so it's like this, like I just said, and let's look for the thinnest center. So if what was that? Okay, so I could just twist this piece around and look for the thinnest one. And look, it lines up right here. So this is the thinnest center right here. Okay? Now what we need to do is, you see this length over here? We need that to match up with one of these centers. So we just do U or U prime till it matches up. So let's try U. Oh, look, it matched up already. So otherwise you just have to keep on spinning it so you find out that it matches. And it'll only match up at one spot. So now that we've gotten the first edge out of the way, the next three are a little more difficult. So we need to look for other thin ones like this. So I see one right here. And you have to keep our thin face at the top. Now that we've found this edge right here, which is super thin, and our thin face is at the top, we need to just move it and put it onto our top face. So we bring it to any part which is not here. And then we just, I guess, sort of move it. So you can move some F over here, and then I'm going to move U, and I'm going to do F prime. So that got it up there. Now let's line it up. So this one got messed up, so we have to put it back. And it's up here. So let's see. So I guess in this case, the place where I was putting it was correct, but let's say it wasn't the correct spot. So let me get into the wrong spot. So look, our first edge is lined up, but our second edge really isn't lined up. I'm not sure if you can see that on the camera, but this is sticking out more than this edge. So what we would do is move 2F, and then we would just keep on moving our bottom face, D or D prime, until we find out that it matches up to the center, and this is at the bottom, so we just do 2F again. 2F, I'll be referring to that a lot, so just 2 of the front face movement in either direction. So whenever there's a number 2, it just means 2 movements. So now we have 2 edges done. Okay, now let's move on to our third edge. So I see another super thin one here. Let's see if I can move it. D prime, D. Oh, there, it lined up right here. So then I just do 2F, and it's up the top. So now we have 1, 2, 3 lined up, and we can sort of see a cross coming together, but we're missing it right here. Let's look for the last thin piece. So if we look around, oh look, this is really thin, and it's right at our bottom face. So we know it has to go here because that's the only spot left on the cross. So let's move it under. And again, it's one of those weird situations where thin part isn't really, I guess, facing our top face. So it's like what we did in the first one. We did F prime, U prime, and then F and U. So it's at the top. And now, if we look, our cross looks quite complete. Just this part. We just have one edge solved, but that's lucky for us. So here we have one here. They're all matching up. Very perfect. Nice. So we're already done the cross. And those are all the possible situations you can get while creating the cross. So let's move on to the last part of solving the top face, the corners. Okay, so just for the sake of this tutorial, we'll be having none solved on our cross. So we have our cross, but none of the corners are solved. So let's look for a thin corner. And corners have three different, like, edge formations, like 3 different faces. So you have this face, and this face. So we look for the thinnest one. So this looks really thin. And then we just, since it's already on the bottom face, we just move it. So we find that, like, 2 of the faces sort of match the centers, so, or like it looks like it would fit in. So this piece looks like it would perfectly fit in right there. So since, like, the thinness is sort of facing us, it's on the front face, we apply this formula. Okay, so the formula for when it faces you is D prime, R prime, D, and R. So look, now on our top face it's correctly inserted. And we have 3 edges, 3 corners left to do. Let's look for another one on our bottom face. And look, we see one right here. Okay, so let's move that around. Let's see where it would go. So now this thin part isn't facing us. It's actually facing our bottom face. So this is a scenario 3. Like, I'm just going to call it the 3rd scenario, and the one we had last time was scenario 1. So for this, the formula would be, we bring it, of course, under the edge it looks like it fit in, with the 2 centers. So it looks like it fit right here. So we perform R, D, D, R prime, and D. So now the thin part is facing, it's not facing the bottom anymore, and it's facing, I guess, the right for this face. So now this brings us to scenario 2. So we already have it right under where it has to go. So the formula for this is also very, very simple. It's D, F, D prime, oh, little stiff, and F prime. And there, look, now we have 2. Perfect. Now let's look for another super thin corner. So I like to call this scenario X, because the piece is right, the really thin piece is on our top face. So it's very thin, but it's on our top face, but it's not oriented correctly. So we have to bring it out of this state. So what we do is we perform this formula, which is R, D prime, R prime, D. So now this edge is right here. This is very, very thin. Okay, so if we look again, it's facing the bottom. So that would be scenario 3. So let's do R, R, D, D, R prime, D. Oh, okay. So we are back at scenario 2. So since it's facing the right. So now we just do D, F, D prime, F prime. Okay. So we have 3 of our corners solved. It's looking really, really good here. Just one left to go. Let's look for it. Look for it. Oh, I see it. Okay. So again, thin part facing the bottom. So we perform R, DD, or 2D, R prime, and D. It's facing the right again. So this is quite a common scenario to get. So we perform D, F for, this is scenario 2, D prime, and F prime. And voila! Our top face is fully solved, and it's all correct. The edges are aligned with their corners. Oh, wrong way. It's all aligned, all flush. It's all really nice, and the corners fit perfectly to form a square. So, as you know, the point of this mirror cube is to get it back into a cube. So we've basically gotten 1/3 of the cube of the mirror cube back into its cube shape. So yeah, that's about it. Those are all the possible scenarios you can get, and those are all the formulas there are to solve it. It's not very complicated, and the next step to solve this second part is actually very, very simple. So it won't be much longer until we're done 2/3. And then the third one does take a lot more effort because there's a lot more different possible combinations to get on that, but we'll work to that spot. So yeah, we've now correctly solved the top face. Yeah, that's about it for this video. So thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments or hop on over to the website actually. All the formulas you would have noticed are listed right in the top corner of the video, so it's very, very simple. So if you guys enjoyed it, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. So thanks for watching, and peace out.